Good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And yes, we'll get to the JRC, but first, the disclaimer and the trigger warnings. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Strokes campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, pertinent links will be there for you in the description box, along with what I hope are some helpful labels. So if you'd like to do a deep dive on your own in regards to the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, you certainly can do so. I highly recommend, out of all the different links, the one to Autistic Hoya's massive archive, because to be honest, that is where we get the bulk of information, court transcripts, ER photo documentation, and just regular ER documentation is all right there, along with logs, letters from other orgs like the ARC of the United States. It's all centralized in one place, and Lydia Brown, who runs the Autistic Hoya's Living Archive on the JRC, keeps it updated constantly. It is labeled well, and she provides a actually clickable table of contents to take you to exactly where you want to go. So definitely stop there first. I also recommend for that deep dive the article written by Neuroplastic, and the reason is the JRC, Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, threatened a defamation lawsuit against Neuroplastic over that article. They surveyed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the Judge Rotenberg's so-called behavior modification program. So not just GED device, the entirety of the program. Now, Neuroplastic is a smaller org. They just started but a few short years ago. So if the JRC feels so threatened by that little article, I would say read it. Go ahead and read it, because specifically they don't want you to. And please share it on all your social media. As always, we have Neuroplastic's link in regards to the GoFundMe that was set up on their behalf due to the threat of a defamation lawsuit from the JRC, because unlike them, we unfortunately do not have access to unlimited Benjamins. So if you have a little you could give, I know they definitely appreciate it. If you're not, please go ahead and share it. I know they appreciate that as well. Pretty much everybody's tight at the moment. Alright? Trigger warning, we do have this channel marked not for kids for a reason. For one thing, I have major proclivity towards profanity. Or should I say every other word out of my mouth. But also, when we do talk on these dark topics, like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, for example, you are going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. So if you are a parent and you have a child that is 16 and younger that are watching this channel, I definitely recommend parental supervision. Definitely advise it, alright? Okay, so we started with one of the many letters where I kind of went off on a rant because I still can't understand why this JRC continue on this idea that the FDA did not take the time to listen to the Kool-Aid drinking parents who essentially believes that the JRC's shits don't stink. But we literally, on their own YouTube channel, no less, can clearly see those very same parents delivering those exact types of messages during the FDA panel's open hearings that took place from 2014 to 2016. I've seen those videos. I have pointed those videos out on the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center's own YouTube page myself. That shows quite clearly that these parents had the exact same amount of opportunity to reach and speak with the FDA panel in regards to their concerns as we did. But the JRC, as usual, they try to twist everything. So they're trying to make it seem all kind of shady that after the original ban got overturned in 2021, they're like, but then you met with the advocates and you started trying again. Clearly they're influencing you. If you are an advocate and you want a specific outcome to protect your own kind, you manage through advocacy to actually be able to make that happen. And then it gets overturned on a technicality. If you believe what you were fighting for in the first place, that influenced you to go to the FDA in the first place, that device is harmful and is being used to abuse and torture the most, bar none, vulnerable individuals in the United States. Do you expect all the effort, the expense that we have paid out of our own pockets, blood, sweat, tears, years of work, years of boots on the ground, years of reaching out to news agencies, years reaching out to the UN, that because you got that overturned by the DC Circuit Court of Appeals, that what, we were just going to give up the fight? Are you high? The point of advocacy is you are advocating for something. If you then turn your back on the individuals you say that you give a shit about because you were handed a loss, do you have no business being an advocate? It takes thick skin. It takes failing millions and millions and millions of times and failing all over the place, but still having to grit to stand back up, no matter what threats are thrown at you, no matter what threats are thrown at the people you care about, no matter how they try to intimidate, gaslight, or bribe you. Okay, JRC? Would you like to know what that means? That means you bet your ass after that ban was overturned, we were right back there speaking to the FDA again. Because the FDA clearly sees how dangerous that device is. So you bet your ass we were talking to them and trying to do whatever it needed to be done so that we can reinstate the ban, so that we can protect the children in your school that we know are being abused and tortured. And we have more than enough evidence that clearly shows us that very thing. It's not a conspiracy that after the overturn, we went back to the FDA. That's what being an advocate is. You don't give up, even when the whole world is against you and shouting you. We may bend, we'll never break. Okay? So yes, JRC. We contacted the FDA after the overturn. We found out exactly what technicality allowed the JRC through the Court of Appeals to get it overturned. The FDA worked along with us to see if there was something that could be done on that front. It was done, This whole opening of the comments was literally only for the sake of transparency. That's it, and that's all. As of right now, the FDA has all the power that they need to push through the ban. They didn't have to open the comments again. They don't have to listen to the same shit forever on a never-ending loop. Unless there is new information that these individuals can present to us, we have already heard it. Okay? And you shouldn't be shocked or consider it shady that us folks who genuinely can see those kids being tortured, have seen the footage, have read the documents. Some of us for even longer than I have. Some of these folks have been fighting the JRC since the 1970s. Okay? It's not shady that we met them after the ban was overturned. It's not a conspiracy. This is not the FDA having an already decided upon conclusion during the original hearings. It means us advocates, we're advocating. Literally what we do. But anyways, before I take you into left field again, where we left off. As you noted in your response, we met with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, in September of last year, prior to the FDA's proposed rule. Hold up. Didn't you all say that you never got to meet with the panel? Weren't you just complaining about the fact that us advocates would meet and speak with the panel? Like it was somehow we were influencing their decision? And that your parents felt like they didn't have the same opportunity to speak? Didn't you literally just say that? Then what the hell is this? You see what I mean, JRC? You lie, and a few paragraphs down, you contradict your own lie. It's actually dizzying trying to keep up with your crap. So, JRC parents, were you able to meet in September of last year with the FDA's panel? Or in this case, that would have been about around circa 2019. Because remember, that's when that originally happened. In regards to the proposed ban, yes or no? If the answer is yes, stop your bitching. Nobody has time for that. Especially not right now. Alright? Let me continue on. Unfortunately, that exchange too was a listening session for the staff at FDA with no engagement and with only one of the staff attending in person. Let me pay you the world's smallest little violin. We've already heard it. We have listened to it. We've seen it on video clips on YouTube. We've read the transcripts in regards to the hearings going from 2014 to 2016. 2 years of transcripts. And in those transcripts, the JRC, the parents that bring forward, repeating themselves on a loop into infinity. got to talk to them. We got to convince them of what? To agree with the propaganda tour? To accept JRC's just trust me bro evidence? To trust these individuals that have already been known to obstruct justice by ordering evidence that had been court ordered to be turned over to the court to be destroyed? I mean, those people? Certainly, they should be perfectly fine with a propaganda tour being given by such individuals. Why ever would anybody ever be concerned? They don't want to listen to it because we've already heard it. In fact, this entire 55-page never-ending comment is regurgitating the exact same crap you did after you overturned the ban, before you overturned the ban, and at the beginning of the proceedings. And that's just being kind. At this point, we could probably recite some of your attacks on us and on your own students in our sleep. Seriously, God help us on that one. No, for real. Let me continue. At the time, there was no proposed rule that would have precluded staff from engaging with us and having a discussion to learn about the journey in caring for these families' loved ones. We've already seen your propaganda tour, JRC. We've seen it from previous interviews you've done. We've seen it from your advertising on your company website. We have seen it on your YouTube page. Nobody's interested in your propaganda tour, and the excuses that you give throughout those videos are so paper thin. It blows my mind that there are actually people out there who genuinely believe it. Doesn't give me much hope for humanity, that's for damn sure, because my God, not just that, but the holes are so big, you could drive a professional semi with 3 trailers right through the holes. And they're so-called propaganda tour arguments. Nobody has time for that. We already know what you say on your propaganda tour. The whole point of things such as unannounced visits and investigations like this is to literally see what you're doing when you don't want us to know what you're doing. You can't do that by announcing yourself. In regards to the FDA willing to do a listening session, but not willing to talk and give because they already heard it. What is not to understand here? They've seen it in the paperwork. They've seen it on Judge Rotenberg Educational Center's own YouTube page. They have seen it and dealt with it now for damn near a decade. You should feel lucky they even showed up at all, because they had more than enough evidence to move forward. And now you want them to come back and do it like again. It's just... What are you waiting for, JRC? The apocalypse? You waiting for the bombs to start flying? God. Nobody wants to listen to the same crap on repeat. No one wants to watch and go through in person the same propaganda tour we can easily pull up from your website. As far as what conversations they need to interact with us, we need to make them understand. I'm sorry. Genuinely am, for those who are really true blue Kool-Aid drinker believes in the JRC. I don't think they should have custody of their children, in my opinion, especially if they had any idea about the history of the place. But I do have some general sympathy for them, in actuality. I really do. But if all you're going to do is say the exact same crap that is literally littered throughout the long, dark history of the JRC, and the same thing the parent group has been saying for decades, why do we need to sit through all of that again? If you don't have anything new, there shouldn't be a need to make those poor panelists have to continue to listen to the crap over and over again. It's been nearly 10 years. Okay? Mother of God, give it a rest. You are not going to be able to change the mind of sane individuals who have looked at the real evidence of who you really are and what you really do, and real comparisons to other programs out there that treat us as human beings instead of human experiments. Nobody has time for that, especially right now. God, the entitlement is off the charts. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and close out on this one because one can only handle so much of their nauseating self-backpatting before feeling the need to, like, hit the weights and hit the punching bag like that punching bag owes me money. Great workout though. Actually is extra fuel. Extra workout fuel, sorry. We're going to close out on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel, and the few we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, you know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and as always, please don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I will see you all here in just a second. Bye, everyone.